How do you exit the dream reality? The dream reality is the combination of the truth and the lens of conditioning when viewed in the state of body identification. It's the truth that gives rise to the lens of conditioning through experience. When there's belief that the blending of the truth and the mind's interpretation of it, when they together constitute truth, if there's that belief, there's something absent from the scope of what's perceived. The truth can make itself known only when there is full surrender to its scope, sovereignty, and perfection. To be unconsciously identified with the body and its story is to maintain a thought-denominated identity that cannot exist without the energy that follows attention. If attention is withdrawn from thoughts just by sheer willpower, the energy that underlies those thoughts will exert a strong pull on the will. The inner narrative that feeds the unconscious entity that possesses and colors the energy body will assert itself. It cannot be permanently suppressed by the will. It has an ally in the underlying energy to generate desire that gives incentive to reestablish the mental looping of story for the purpose of plotting the course to what it wants. This is the parasite described in Castaneda's books. A thing that consumes and transmutes energy, holds it. To see reality is to see apart from the belief in being the body and mental lens of conditioning. It can happen when suffering gives impetus to let go of unnecessary cares. It allows for a space where no opinion exists, in that there is nothing to augment reality with judgment and narrative. One consequence of mindfulness is the increased vividness of dreams. The ability to lucid dream is proportional to presence during the day. There's less energy burned in the day's rumination, and so it paints a more vivid world in dreaming. When combined with an ongoing perception that awareness is the self, it increases the chance that the dream world will mimic the real one, but imperfectly, allowing for the question to arise, is this a dream? Why then, when I look in the mirror, is there no reflection? Why does the house look different? Is it a dream? That's when the realization that it's a dream appears. There are obsessions that will break you if you don't first break them. In the process of breaking your mind, such an obsession may break your circumstances and your body. An obsession may occupy so much in mental and energetic resources that its end shifts perception through the space it leaves. Beyond physical maintenance, the objects that you own have corresponding mental versions which require your attention and energy. And the energy that follows your attention. This is the reality behind the phrase, the more stuff you have, the more stuff has you. It consumes your energy through your rumination on it. You could have everything you ever wanted, but if you lost identification as one to own things, you would have little care for these things thereafter. Unconsciousness is evidenced in distress for impermanent property that's thought to be owned by an impermanent self. The identification with that self is delusion. Unconsciousness is evidenced in the need to control everything. It takes a scheming mind to aspire to control. That much planning precludes presence and its fruit. Unconsciousness is evidenced in the belief that bloodline convicts, acquits, or confers special powers. These beliefs require body identification and are thus mutually exclusive to the knowledge, as it was called by Nisargadatta Maharaj. Shirdi Sai Baba describes spirituality as a jungle, and that the seeker needs a trustworthy guide. If the search is for anything but the truth, it will preserve delusion on some level, if only by working for the benefit of a name for which there is care. In right intention, there is no desire to accumulate fame or fortune. So long as there is belief in being one to gain knowledge, the knowledge will be only conceptual. Not all those exposed to the truth consciously sought it. The Four Noble Truths point to this path. The Buddha began life with all the pleasures of the world availed to him, and it yielded no freedom. Then he sought the path of asceticism and went to an extreme with it, and it yielded no freedom. But the recognition of suffering, its causes and remedy, led him to the middle way, which is neither indulgence nor asceticism. But the recognition of the non-self nature of dependently originated phenomena.